So the rule of 72 is basically a way for you to figure out how long it's going to take for your money to double. So here's all the numbers that 72 is divisible by, or the factors of 72. And all you have to do is you take 72 and you divide it by the interest rate. I'll just call that I. Right? And that's going to equal the number of years it takes for your money to double. So I'll call that number of years to double. All right? So if I had, for example, if I had an interest rate of 6%, so 72 divided by 6, it would take 12 years, right? And if I had an interest rate of, let's say, 9%, 72 divided by 9, we'd found out it would take 8 years to double. And also, if I had, let's say, an interest rate of 12%, so 72 divided by 12, we would find it would take 6 years to double. Now, this is pretty accurate. It's just for mental calculation mostly, but it gives a pretty good idea of how long it's going to take about for your money to double. It's not going to be exactly $200. Oh, well, if I started with $100, let's say, and I wanted to see how long it would take to turn into $200, it would take about this much time for all these interest rates. It wouldn't become exactly $200. It'd be like $199 in some cases, or $202 or whatever. And we'll kind of so I wanted to explore that with a table right here. So if I said, okay, well, I'm going to take my $100, right? That's times 0, and I have $100, and I'm going to put that in a bank that makes this much percent interest rate on my money, or this much or this much. So 6, 9, or 12, and how long it's going to take to double. So what did we say? We said if it was 6%, it would take 12 years. If it was 9%, it would take 8 years, and if it was 12%, it would take 6. So 6%, it would say it would take about 12 years to double. So if you look down at the table under the 12-year column, you see after 12 years, it's about $201, right? Which is not, like I said, not exactly $200, but it's pretty close. It's about how long it'll take for my money to double. Just a quick calculation for myself. If you look down the 9%, we said it would take 8 years. Well, here's 8 years, and look, it's about, again, almost $200. And then I said, well, if it was 12%, it should take 6 years, and look down the 6-year column. Now, notice that over here at 6%, I overestimated, right? It was over $200. Actually, I made more than $200. And over here, it was an underestimate. So I got less than $200. And as the interest rate went up, it became less and less accurate. And for an example, I have here, right here, if I actually had 24%, you'd see, well, okay, 72 divided by 24 would be 3. 3 times 24 is 72. And in 3 years, I would make close to 200, but less close than if I was using a 6% rate. So the rule of 72 is really good for probably around 6%, almost up to 12%, between these two numbers. Once it gets a lot higher than that, it's not as accurate. And you can imagine if once it gets a lot lower than that, I would be overestimating just as inaccurately as if I was up at 24%. So I wouldn't use it for exactness, but to give yourself a quick mental idea, it's probably a cool rule to check out.